Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling how to craft a digital experience that really sings.
Yeah, we're dissecting our own blog post here.
Hot off the press. How to create a compelling digital experience for your public company. A step-by-step guide.
Straight from the Beam Up Digital think tank. But don't worry,
It's packed with insights.
for any business looking to up their digital game.
Seriously, this stuff applies across the board.
So where do we even start with creating an experience that truly connects?
Well, first things first, you absolutely got to know who you're talking to.
Your audience, right. Understanding them is like step one.
I mean, it sounds obvious, but
You'd be amazed how many companies just skip this part entirely.
yeah, they jump into websites and social media without a clue who they're trying to reach.
Exactly. It's like setting up a shop in the middle of nowhere and expecting customers to just show up.
You got to know your crowd.
Yeah.
Imagine like trying to sell skateboards to, I don't know, grandmas.
Totally. You'd miss the mark completely.
So how do we get inside our audience's heads? Legally, of course.
Well, data is our friend here. Think Google Analytics.
Ah, yes, the data goldmine.
It tells you a ton about your website visitors, like their demographics, their interests, what they're doing on your site.
It's like having a little spy cam, but,
Yeah.
the ethical kind.
And social media analytics. They give you insights into what content is working.
Oh, for sure. Got to track those likes and shares.
And don't underestimate the power of good old-fashioned feedback.
Like just asking people.
Exactly. Surveys, polls, even those little comment boxes.
You can learn a lot just by listening to what your audience has to say.
Totally. And remember, gathering data is only half the battle.
Right. Got to actually use it.
To create targeted content, personalized experiences, make it all super relevant.
So we've got a grip on our audience.
Mhm.
What's next on the digital domination checklist?
Now we need to figure out who WE are. Brand identity time.
Ah, yes. More than just a snazzy logo.
It's the whole vibe, the personality of your business. It's what sets you apart in the digital sea of sameness.
So we're talking visuals, messaging, values, the whole shebang.
Absolutely. Think of it as crafting a story, one that resonates with your audience and makes them want to stick around.
Like a story they want to be a part of.
Exactly. So how do we build a brand identity that's truly magnetic, one that has people hooked?
Yeah, I want to see those lines around the block like a new iPhone launch.
Well, while we can't promise that level of fandom overnight, we can definitely set the stage. It starts with defining your core values.
Okay, values, got it.
What else? Your mission statement. Why does your business exist? What problems are you solving? These are the foundations.
Right, the why behind the what.
Exactly. And don't forget the power of a good brand story. What's the narrative that connects your audience to you?
It's like writing a screenplay, but for your business.
You got it. And of course, visuals are key. Logo, colors, fonts, imagery, all of it needs to work together.
A cohesive look and feel.
Right. So we've nailed our audience, crafted a killer brand identity. What's next on our digital domination checklist?
Well, let's talk about the heart of it all, your website. That's where the magic really happens.
Think of it as your digital storefront. You want it to be inviting, easy to navigate, and, well, pretty to look at.
No one wants to walk into a messy, confusing store.
Exactly. And these days, it's all about creating seamless user experiences. Clear calls to action, easy to find information, design that's both beautiful and functional.
Ooh, UI and UX. Sounds fancy.
User interface and user experience. Basically, UI is how things look and UX is how they work.
Okay, that makes sense. So UI is like the storefront display, and UX is how easy it is to shop.
You got it. And remember, everyone's on their phones these days.
Oh yeah, mobile responsiveness is huge.
If your website looks terrible on a phone, people are going to bounce faster than you can say algorithm.
And while we're talking about things that make people bounce, let's not forget about those dreaded load times.
Ugh, yes. No one wants to wait an eternity for a web page to load.
I've totally abandoned online shopping carts because of that.
We've all been there. Optimizing your website for speed is absolutely crucial.
All right, so we've covered website optimization. What's next on our digital adventure?
Time to dive into the world of social media. This is where you can really connect with your audience, build those relationships, and turn followers into, like, super fans.
Social media is where it's at. It's like the ultimate virtual hangout spot.
Yeah,
And for businesses, it's gold for building a community around your brand.
you got it. It's not just about blasting out marketing messages anymore.
Right. It's about real conversations, engaging with your followers, and making people feel like they're part of something cool.
Exactly. It's like hosting the best party in town. Everyone wants an invite.
Okay, so how do we make our social media presence stand out? How do we become the party everyone's talking about?
Well, first, you got to pick the right platforms for your audience. Where do they hang out online? Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn.
Right. Got to meet them where they are. It's like trying to sell, I don't know, sunscreen in Alaska.
Exactly. Got to go where the sun is. Once you've got your platforms figured out, content is king.
Content is king. Heard that. What makes content, like, truly engaging?
It needs to be relevant, visually appealing, informative, maybe even a little entertaining. Think about those eye-catching visuals, compelling stories.
Yeah, got to give people something they'll actually want to share.
Right. It's like digital word-of-mouth marketing.
Oh, and user-generated content, that's the good stuff.
Absolutely. Encourage your followers to create content related to your brand.
It's authentic, relatable, it builds trust.
And don't forget, social media is a two-way street.
Right, it's not just about broadcasting your message, you got to listen too.
Exactly. Respond to comments, answer questions, show people you're actually paying attention.
Engagement is key. It's all about those connections and that sense of community. But how do we know if our social media game is strong?
Data and analytics.
Yeah.
Got to track those key performance indicators, those KPIs.
Okay, pause for a sec.
No.
KPIs. For those of us who aren't data whizzes, what are we even talking about?
Think of KPIs as your report card for how well you're doing online.
Ah, so they tell us what's working and what needs some work.
Exactly. They help you make smart decisions.
Data-driven decisions. Love it.
Ah,
Speaking of smart decisions, let's talk about the really cool stuff, innovative technologies. This is where the future's at.
right. AI, augmented reality, virtual reality. Stuff that used to be science fiction.
Seriously, it's like living in a movie sometimes. So how can businesses actually use these technologies to create experiences that blow people's minds?
Let's start with AI, artificial intelligence. It's like having a brainy digital assistant.
Okay, I can get behind a digital assistant.
Think chatbots that can handle customer questions, personalized suggestions, even process orders.
Those chatbots are getting pretty good.
Oh.
And I do love a personalized shopping experience.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
It makes you feel special. And then there's AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality. They take things to a whole other level.
Give me some examples. How are people using AR and VR in the real world?
Imagine trying on clothes virtually before you buy them, or seeing how a new couch would look in your living room. That's AR.
Okay, I've seen that. Pretty cool.
And with VR, you can create experiences that literally transport people to other places, like a virtual tour of, I don't know, the Amazon rainforest.
Whoa, sign me up for that. That's incredible. Okay, so we've covered social media, data and analytics, and these mind-blowing technologies. What's the final piece of the puzzle for creating a truly amazing digital experience?
Let's talk about community engagement, building a tribe of fans who love your brand.
A tribe. I like that. It's about more than just attracting people. It's about creating that sense of belonging, making people feel like they're part of something special.
You nailed it. So how do we build one of these thriving online communities?
Yeah. How do we do it?
You got to start by giving people a space to connect with each other and with your brand. Think about online forums, those social media groups, even virtual events.
Got to give them a platform to share their thoughts, their ideas, their experiences.
Right. And it's so important to actually engage with them, respond to those comments, answer questions, be present.
Be a good host, right?
Exactly. And when you build a strong community, you're not just getting customers.
You're creating advocates, people who truly believe in what you do.
Exactly. Word of mouth marketing on steroids.
So we've covered a lot in this deep dive. We've talked about everything from understanding our audience to building a dedicated community. What are the core takeaways here?
I think the biggest thing to remember is that creating an amazing digital experience, it's not like a one and done deal.
Right. It's definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
It's a journey. You're constantly learning and adapting.
It's got to evolve, right? Along with your audience and the whole digital landscape.
Exactly. And just like a garden needs sunlight and water,
Ooh, I like that analogy.
your digital experience thrives on data and insights.
Got to keep feeding it information.
You got it. Constantly analyze that data, keep track of those KPIs.
So we can make informed decisions.
Data-driven decisions
Yeah.
all the way.
And hey, don't be scared to try new things.
Oh yeah, experiment. The digital world's always changing.
What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. Got to stay agile.
Absolutely. But through all the changes, never lose sight of the human connection.
Right. At the end of the day, people want genuine interactions.
They want experiences that actually mean something to them on a personal level.
So technology is a powerful tool, but we got to use it the right way.
It should enhance the human experience, not replace it.
Couldn't agree more. So when we focus on those genuine connections, on creating experiences that matter.
That's when things get really exciting. That's when the magic happens.
So just to recap real quick,
Hmm.
know your audience, build a strong brand, optimize that online presence, foster a sense of community.
Embrace innovation and never forget the human touch.
Boom. That's how you create a digital experience that rocks.
And remember, this isn't just for public companies. This is for anyone who wants to build meaningful connections online.
So go out there and make your mark on the digital world. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been fun dissecting our own work.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep creating.